Hi, and a very good day. My name is Nur Azla Binti Rusbi, and I'm gonna share you tips on how to improve your pronunciation, especially in English. So stay tuned. Hey, meet again for the tips of how to improve your pronunciation. So my first tip is to use a dictionary. Okay, why do I suggest a dictionary as a reference? Because dictionary is not just to find out the words, not just to find out the meanings, definitions. It also helps you to improve your pronunciations. Why did I say that? Because dictionary contain an alphabet that can help you to pronounce the word that you're looking for, that you search for. For example, here I'm using this dictionary, Collins Cobalt Learner's Dictionary. I've been using for many years, since 2001, and it's a very good dictionary actually, because it contains a lot of words that I never familiar with, and by using this dictionary I simply learn, and I simply get add my knowledge on it, add my vocabulary on it. So let me show you certain words that I use to refer to this dictionary. Did you notice the word that I highlighted? So this is the word hatred. I never know what does it means before, but when I use this dictionary, I already know what does it means. And hatred is similar to hate. So if you can notice beside the words hatred, you can see the alphabet that helps you to pronounce the word hatred, and simply you can pronounce it correctly, and therefore dictionary is the best reference used to improve your pronunciations. Okay, so this is my first tips. So use the dictionary. We meet again for the second tips. So my second tip would be listening to native speakers of the language. Okay, what does that mean? Native speakers? Okay, it's actually the owner of the language, which means if it's English language, so it's owned by the English people from America, from United Kingdom, from Canada, from Australia. They got different accents, and I understand that you might quite difficult to understand them because they got different accents. British got their own accents, Australian got their different accents, and American that have got their own accents as well. So don't too worry too much about that, because in this context of listening to the native speakers, it means that you listen to them, you listen on how they talk, on how they speak, on how they start the conversation, how they pronounce the word correctly in their own way. Because what I understand, that learning is started from imitations. It's not that you copycat all way long, but it's just that you imitate them in other way, that when you met them face to face and you have to talk to them, so you have experience with it. When you talk to American, you can talk this way. When you talk to Australian, you can talk this way. So it is important for me actually, when you in a way you want to improve your pronunciations, actually by listening to the native speakers of the language. it actually helps you. It actually assists you to speak English because like I said previously, learning is all about experience, and it also imitation is a one type of method of learning as well. It's just that when you imitate, you take effort to understand what the word is, what the meaning of the word is, and therefore that is the way you learn English, and that's how you improve your pronunciations. And it is quite and a good tips as well, through my experience as well, when I met someone that I need to talk in their language. So that is how I learn it. I learn from maybe from televisions, from internet. I learn, and when I met them, I can speak through the way they speak. So it could be the way to improve your pronunciations. So meet me at the third tips next. Okay, for the third tips, I listen to English songs. You know why? Because I learn English words through songs, and I can practice how they pronounce the words correctly. For example, like I did now, I'm listening to English songs, and then I try to write it down the lyrics, and after I finish it, I check back at the internet, and from there I can know what the words that they use, how they pronounce it, and is it correct that I write it down, and if I'm not if there's a mistake on it, I listen back. So this is how I work on how to improve my pronunciations in English, because English is about practicing, and when you practice and it's on your mind already that okay, this is the word that I learned from this song, and this song. So it's really helpful. So the other words, listen to English songs to make it familiar to you and to improve your pronunciations, okay? Fourth tips, watch English movies. Okay. Watching English movies is also one of the methods that can improve your pronunciations. Okay, like for example, I love to watch Harry Potter series, and I learned a lot because this is as we know, British productions, and therefore their accents are using a British accents, and I love to learn because the actors are among the teenagers, and combined with the seniors actors, the words that they use are totally it's pretty awesome actually, because I believe youngsters, children, they watch this movie and they learn English from it. So I'm not left behind. I myself like to watch this movie, and it really helps me because I can watch how they express the words throughout the expressions, like how they are sad and what the words are suitable to express their sadness, and when they're happy, what is the word that they use to express happiness. So watching movies is actually quite helpful. It's quite a method that can be used to improve your pronunciations. So let's watch movies. Tip number 5. Try to speak in English. Okay, why don't you ask few friends to speak English with you? Make a conversations, like a simple conversations, and try to speak English. it doesn't matter if it's wrong or you're not fluently speaking English, but you learn. And when you learn, you know your mistake. And by practicing with your friends, you will get benefits on it by you learn and you improve your English. So I guess that is a good tips because actually this has been a method that been used from secondary to primary school. They made Tuesday as a English day, and you have to speak English with your teachers, your friends. When you speak English, you got marks over it, and it's encourage you to learn more, to study more on the vocabulary, the meaning, the grammar, and I guess that speak with friends is actually helpful. When we were in school, the teachers will guide us. Okay, they will listen. They will not correct you earlier, and they will actually teach you later, and they want to know how you use English. So it's quite a tips because I guess it can be adapted now, even though you're working now, but still you can use English, and eventually it can help you to improve English and your pronunciations. Try to have a conversation, and it's not for showing off, it's for your experience and your learning. And this is important because we don't know. One day you might get, in the office, you might get a client that come from overseas. You can't speak Malay with them. You have to use English. So this is how you practice yourself earlier so that you can be well prepared when you meet a client from overseas, and you can be ready to have a conversation with them. So my tips is try to talk in English, try to speak English daily. Okay? Okay, you might wondering what I do with this mirror. Okay, it's for beautiness. Yes, but it also use how to speak in front of the mirror, because by talking for yourself, you're talking yourself through the mirror, you can actually see how do you pronounce your word, how do you move your lips, your tongue in the right way to pronounce the words. For example, A, E, I, O, U. So U, O, I, E, A. So same as when you pronounce an English word, it's not something that you're familiar, it's not something you do in daily life. In your daily day, you speak English, you want to speak English fluently, you want to improve your pronunciations, you need to know how to pronounce it correctly. You need to know that if your mouth, if your tongue, if your lips are moved in the correct way. Like, for example, telephone. In Malay they call telephone. But in English they pronounce it as telephone. It's telephone. It's different, right? Telephone and telephone. It's actually a simple way to practice your pronunciations. Okay, by looking at the mirror and you watch yourself. Is it true? Is it right that I speak this way or this way? So you can practice your movement, your mouth, your lips, your tongue, using the correct way to pronounce the words. Okay, so use to talk to the mirror sometimes, not just for beautiness but also to improve your English. Okay, that's tips number 6. Okay, change location outside the house. So my tips number 7 is to record yourself while you're speaking English. Why is that happen? Because when you record your own voice and you know that, okay, I speak this correctly, or I speak it wrongly. Okay, this is a mistake that I have to correct it back. So by recording your own voice, it's actually help you to listen back what are you trying to say in English. And when you record it back, you know that there's a mistake here and there, and you will try to make it correct it to the correct way. Okay. Basically, I'm using my own phone, and then I choose voice memo, and I try to record it here, and I listen back. If I try to read a passage in English, and I try to listen it back, so I know, okay, this is so awkward when there is a sound that, okay, this is not how it sounds. So I know. So it's important you record back your voice when you speak in English, so you know where the mistake is. Is it good? Is it not? Okay? So record your own voice. Okay, finally, last tips. Continue practicing, okay? Learning language, no matter English, France, Chinese, Malay, any language that you want to learn, you need to practice in any method necessary. Recording, you speak in front of a mirror, you watch English movie, you read English books, or whatever that is necessary, you need to practice. Choose about around 20 minutes per day to learn English. It really assists you to upgrade, to improve yourself talking in English. I know it is quite difficult to do this because this is not our language, why we have to learn it? But you don't know. When you learn the language, you might understand what they're talking about. And this is the way that you improve yourself, upgrading your skills, not just talking in Malay, but also in English. So my advice is, please do practice to talk in English to improve your pronunciations in English. Thank you. And I'm gonna share you tips on how to improve your pronunciation, especially in English. So stay tuned.